Yo, what's going on? This is another episode. I am your host, AD, the RPA guy, and today we have a special guest. So let me first introduce you before I, tell you the people who you are. So I largely have amassed all my success just putting my head down, grinding, working, not networking, not really being outside like that. And then I found this chick on Instagram like a year ago. I followed her. She ain't really followed me back. But then, we start connecting and stuff like that. And I'm just seeing, she's moving like a boss. She's got a lot of stuff going on. And we finally had a conversation, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. And then I'm just like, all right, here's me, here's what I do. Tell me more about you and what you do. And I was just blown away. I was just like, okay, I got to give it up. This is respect. This is somebody who I need to network with. And ultimately, I wanted to bring her to the channel so that you guys can learn some amazing networking tips, because what I like to do here is simplify your process of breaking into tech, however it is that you decide that you want to do it. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce Justice. Justice, how you doing?
I'm great, and thank you for the introduction.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. I'm not big on humility, okay? So I really want you to pop your shit and tell the people, just give them your rap sheet, right? Like, let us know, what have you accomplished in the tech world? And please don't be humble about it.
I like being humble.
I'm asking you not to be. I'm asking you not to be.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Justice Collier. I am a principal UI UX designer. I do fractional C2C work as well in the tech space. I've been in the industry for about 12 years, enterprise for like 7-8 years. I specialize in fintech and I started out in GovTech. So I work with clients such as like USDA, PayPal, Bank of America, CDC, US Bank. I have a long laundry list, FIS, Walmart, Kroger, Raising Cane's. I've been established a lot. So
been in these tech streets.
Yeah, I've been in the tech streets for sure. And now I am being more open with my agency. So I have an agency called Devon Design Agency, and we do more C2C and fractional consulting work.
I love it. And so not only that, you're also teaching students how to get into the C2C business, correct?
Yes, 100%. I have Techpreneurship Academy where I teach students, and it's an exclusive program. You'll learn about C2C, fractional consulting, how you pretty much have, your tech experiences and want to perfect your skills and also build your brand. So with that, I'll teach people how to build their agencies and scale in the tech space.
So what kind of success are your students seeing though?
My students are saying a lot of things. So every student has something different. You have some students that want to be a high paying tech contractor. You have some that want to have a really premium cybersecurity agency. So everybody have different things. I mean, most of my students do really, really good, and they're making like 100 to 200 an hour.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So what do you feel like Justice does better than anybody else?
I teach stuff that's not on Google. So what I teach, you can't find on Google, you can't find on YouTube. It's not enough people talking about it, because in the industry I'm in, is one of those, if you know, and if you have experience. And I learned from trial and error, not having a mentor. And I was like, I want to give back to the community and pretty much give all my knowledge away to them. So what I can say often is a lot of things I teach, you're not going to find on the internet.
So you're saying like you have a lot of wisdom that's hard to find. Like you're not going to just find it. Okay.
You're not going to find it.
I'm more so curious, what skill set do you feel like you are great at that most people are not? Because again, we're talking to people who really, really, really want to be in tech. They just don't know what they're doing. They're overwhelmed because there's so many options. Yeah. They're afraid. They don't think they're smart enough. Like if they could copy one skill set from you, what do you think that would be?
Learn how to read the room and learn how to be quiet when it's time to be quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right now people are missing in the industry. People don't know how to be quiet. They don't know how to listen. And I get that a lot from recruiters and even me just talking to other clients. Learn to listen, take it in, and then perfect the craft. So
you think you're a great listener and you're great at reading the room. Give me an example of a time where you saw someone do something, you're like, nah, they don't know what they're doing. They don't listen well enough.
It's all the time.
Give me an example.
I can go see a client and they swear they're the best and good at everything they do. I would have them do a walkthrough, give me an audit of everything, and they can't even explain the simplest thing, or like learn simple acronyms, or how to find the solution for a problem that is super easy to find. So I'm thinking like, hey, you must got this job because you know somebody, or you was referred, or you probably did some things to get to the top. So I'm not really understanding how did you get this role, but I'm like, based off what I've learned from that person just talking, I already know how to handle them in conversations, how to communicate with them based off ego, pride, and all that, based off what I'm hearing from one conversation.
So I'm hearing you say you are really good at like the human nature aspect of things.
Yes,
You know how to
human-centered
read
design.
people. Interesting. What is that?
Human-centered design, learning human behaviors.
Okay. So that's what
Psychology.
you're good at. Okay. Okay. You sound like me. All right then. That's all I do. So then do you feel as though like you're a person who's really good at human nature and you just so happen to work in tech?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
All right then. Okay. So then what do you think, what's your favorite part about being in tech?
I did it for the money. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, hold up. Hey, don't nobody else want to say that.
Yeah,
Come
I did
on.
it for the money.
So you're not passionate? You're not like
I'm
building things?
passionate.
Wait, no. You're not building things on the weekends and
I am. I'm building on the weekend.
Okay.
I'm writing articles on weekends. I'm not gonna lie.
no, not articles, not articles. I'm talking about like doing the tech stuff, like building UX, UI designs.
Yeah.
Like, so you're doing that on the
I
weekends.
just not on Sundays. Sundays are rest days.
Okay.
But I'll do it on Saturdays and Fridays. Yeah.
Interesting. So, but you're even then when you're doing it for the money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. So what do you do for fun then?
Write articles.
Okay.
Read. Look at podcasts. I'll probably go out here and there to like a bar or a wine bar. Then I'll go right back home and read. And I'll
So
chill
you're
my-
really a nerd for real.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm a nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then how did you, let's take us back to the beginning. You said you're from Atlanta, correct?
I'm from Albany, Georgia, but I lived in Atlanta.
Okay.
229 stand up.
Okay. So then did anyone else in your family work in tech in the past?
No, I'm the
you're
only
the
one.
first.
Only one.
Are you the first to go to college as well?
No, my mom has a PhD. Definitely not the first.
In what?
I don't know. Something in English psychology. She's a therapist, well, I don't know.
Okay.
She got a lot of degrees.
She's good with people too then.
Oh, yeah. Excellent with people.
So then you got that from her is what it sounds like.
She was
Okay.
top 10 therapists in America back in like, what, 2010?
Interesting. So then when you're listening to podcasts, is it like tech podcast? What's your genre?
I listen to entrepreneurship podcasts. I don't listen to tech podcasts. So it's all entrepreneurship, things to how to make more money, how to live your business, or pretty much have your business on auto and still go and enjoy life. Those type of podcasts. I listen to.
Okay, that does make sense. Yeah, that does make sense. That does sound like you. Okay. So from, you said Auburn? How do you say
Albany.
Albany? Spell it. You country.
ALBA. Oh, you making me mess up. ALBANY.
2219, stand up.
229.
Whatever. Okay,
229.
229. So you grew up there. Did you go to high school there too?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I moved to Albany, Georgia when I was what, like 5, 6? Before then,
Where were you all over the place? Where were you born?
I was born in Perry, Georgia.
Perry. Oh, don't nobody know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's country, like
Okay.
I don't know nowhere.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Now then, Albany.
No, okay. Let me start over. I was born in Perry. Then I moved to Savannah. Moved to Montezuma, Georgia. Then my mom met her husband. We moved to Albany. I stayed there all the way to graduating college. No, high school, sorry. And then I went to college at Kennesaw State University in Atlanta, Georgia. And then I stayed there because I got a job. And then I started working at the CDC.
What did you went to college for what?
Software engineering.
Software engineer. I think you said that you got out and you did that. It was too masculine.
It's okay, so I switched my degrees 3 times. I had a IT degree first, and I'm like, it's very generic, boring.
You sound very decisive.
I'm very decisive. Yeah.
Okay.
It was very boring for me. I was like, you know what? Just don't give me thrill. Don't give me a lot of money. So the second degree, I did computer engineering. Didn't know it was hardware, so I'm out here soldering, doing electrical circuit boards. I'm in class with all this pink on, and the professor likes too much pink in my classroom.
He said that?
Yeah, he did. And I was like, you know what? That's not my vibe. So I went to my advisor. I said, hey, find something else, because this ain't it. So she was like, well, do software engineering. It's more money. We need more women in it. And they have a community here for like women in tech. And I was like, you know what? That's more my speed. How much they make? She was like, you can start making $100K. I said, okay, well, what can I start off with after college? She was like, you can do about 80. Okay, cool, sign me up. So I did that, took the classes, coding and everything.
What languages they teach you?
Child, I coded everything. Java, C#, C++, JavaScript. And then we use Unity for the gaming design stuff. I'm like, this is hard. I can't do this. So I started paying people to do my homework. I was like, I can't do
Said
this.
that on camera. Okay, all right then. So you paying people to do your homework. Go ahead.
I had a college
used to get
sweetheart
paid
too,
to do
so-
people's homework.
Really?
Yeah, we could have had some.
No
Okay.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was always, not in class. I had a college boo thing, so I'm always with him, skipping school, skipping class, make sure the homework done though. uh, so then my professor gave me.
What's your GPA when you graduated?
You don't want to know. It was bad. It was so embarrassing.
No, so let me share.
I was close to a 3 though.
Oh my goodness.
I was close to a 3.
Just so you know, I'm not being judgmental. My first year of college, not first year, first semester, academic probation, because I'm trying to hit everything I can.
Wow.
On campus. Oh my goodness, I'm skipping. I'm doing everything you doing.
I was in love though.
But it was shit. Okay. And so, but I got it together because I had my child at 19. So,
Okay.
so at that point, it was like, I thought, because I got like a D my first semester, and I was like, oh my goodness, they going to interview me. They're going to see my D back in my freshman year. I'm never going to get a job.
Right.
So I straightened it up. But it sounded like you had fun. Keep going.
I had a time. College, I lived my best life. And I was the only black girl in college that had a Lexus too. So I was doing it. I was like, you can't say I got a Lexus in college. Like, don't play with me.
Yeah.
Right. Stepping on them. Me and my roommates, we eating salmon, we eating caviar and stuff. Cause I'm over here. Cause keep in mind, that's how I started my business. I was doing websites to get money. So I'm over here doing like little mini websites.
So you just a hustler.
I was a hustler. So I'm over here creating people websites, little apps ideas.
Using Wix.
I was using Wix, WordPress, everything you could think of. And that's how I started the business I have now. So my C2C been around for years. It was just like a freelance business. But yeah, that's how I started out.
Okay. So then you graduated with a computer engineering degree.
Software engineering degree.
Software engineering. Okay. And then how did you like your first job and where were you working at?
So my first job, it took me 6 months to get after graduating.
Interesting.
Yeah.
To hear that.
Because, I had the engineering degree and I was like, I want to do something else. I don't want to code. So I was like, I want to get into UI UX.
So it didn't take 6 months because then nobody wants you. You were being picky.
I was picky.
So you are a picky person.
Yeah, I was very picky because people
are a
was
picky
coming
person.
with me like 45K, 50K, 60K. So
You are a picky person.
I'm very picky about
Okay,
everything.
I just wanted to hear you say, okay.
Stop.
Well, I'm making sure. I'm just, as we're getting
I'm
to know one another.
picky, very picky.
Okay, so then 6 months. So you're probably turning down jobs.
I'm turning down everything.
Okay.
Anything come my way, I had a man tell me I ain't worth more than 50K. And I was like, excuse me, you don't know me, sir. That's weird. And I was like, I'm
So
gonna show you.
So you get your first job and you're making how much?
First job, I was making 75K and I had a bonus for 10 grand.
What year was this?
Ooh, what, 2018?
2018.
And that was my first job as enterprise. Now, keep in mind, I was already freelancing still. So I've been in it for like
So you had your business.
I had my business going
You
already.
really didn't need them like that.
I needed them to get clientele, yes.
Okay.
And to build my brand and also build my portfolio for like the tech space. But I was already having a little buzz in Atlanta doing websites. So I was just like, you know what? Let me go do the corporate route. I got a degree for a reason. So I was like, I want to get a professional job and an enterprise job. So I got into government. And that's when I started working at the CDC.
That's your first, wait, was that
My first job was C2C.
Okay.
No, not like C2C, but the Center Prevention Disease place in Atlanta.
Okay.
That's C2C. Yeah. So I was working there.
A lot of diseases in Atlanta too. So.
Oh, what? It was so many. And I was designing their portal for them for the employees. So I was like, this is cool. This is fun. And I did really good. And we got picked up for another contract. So I kept getting bonuses every year. And then after that, I got fired.
You got fired?
They fired me. I got fired on my day off.
Okay, Craig. So how long were you there?
2 years.
What
2
they
years
fired
on
you
3.
for? You weren't showing up to meetings?
No, so I was in Cancun, Mexico, living my best life with my girls, And then I told my manager, hey, he knew I was going. Manager knew I was going. The VP knew I was going. We got a new VP because I remember putting him on the company website. We got a new VP. He lied and told the CEO that I was going to do some work for him, and he talked to me already. But I was like, I never met this man. Like, we never had a conversation. So he's like forcing my manager to force and cancel my vacation, hurt me come back home so I can do this work. But I'm like, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm not coming back. Like, no.
So you stood your ground, essentially.
I stood my ground. He didn't like it. He got caught in his lie. So then we had to do this training, like agile cert training every year for the company. And I missed one day because I was sick, and he pretty much wrote me up for that. Then after that, he fired me the first day on Black History Month.
The first day of Black History Month.
The first day of Black History Month.
What was, because they always got to have like a technical or professional reason why they let you go. What they say?
He said because I wasn't doing my work. I'm like, I'm the only designer in the company. I do great. Look at my stats. Like, are you crazy? He's like, you're not doing your work and you skipped the agile training. I said I was sick. But I was like, you didn't like me from the beginning. I have all the receipts, and you just texted me on weekends. So HR was like, why you didn't been tell us? I'm like, you're the op too. Y'all are just gonna pick his side. Like, y'all are not gonna help me. So my mom was like, file an EEOC. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. Like,
you don't even care that much.
I don't even care no more. I'm like, I'll just look for another gig. And she's like, start doing tech contracting. Like, just get into contracting, pick up your LLC back, and start getting contracts from there. And that's when I got into tech contracting for real. And I was like, you know what? I get way more money doing this than I did there. So
you left there in 2020 then? You got fired
2021-ish. Okay. Yeah, so around 2021-ish.
Okay, February 2021. Okay, and then you've just been doing contracting ever since?
Ever since then, I was job stacking and everything.
Okay, oh my goodness.
I was getting back.
You remind me of myself. I've been fired so many times.
But I ain't been fired that many times.
Nah, it don't matter.
It's only one.
It don't matter. Same thing. Whether you fire or you walk away, it's the same thing. But I think the issue is like you have like this personality where like you're capable of doing things at a high level. Yeah. Like if I can do this at a high level, what do you need me here for 40 hours for? You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me alone. I get my job done. Don't ask me for nothing else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that like you have the personality where like you were just going to end up being an entrepreneur no matter what. Yeah. And when you got that kind of like success and that kind of confidence, you can just walk away from anything at any time. Like, I don't need this. I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think essentially I'm saying you were meant to be a bad employee. And
it didn't, let me tell you, it didn't help because my mama was like, well, you don't need them. We'll help you. We'll help you. Yeah. And then she realized how expensive my lifestyle was. She was like, I can't help you. She was like, you got to start back working, babes. Who paying $2,500 in rent? I was like, well, that's Atlanta.
How long was she helping you?
Not long, probably like a month. And she stopped. I think it was like a month, yeah. She stopped after that. So I was like, let me get back in my grind mode. So we're here.
Okay. So then when did you start coaching people to do C2C?
When I moved to Dallas.
Okay. Which was what year?
This was last year, February, I started. So
February of last year. So you've not even really been here for like 2 years or
not 2 years. Okay. Not 2 years.
How do you like Dallas?
It's growing on me. Okay.
So that means you don't like it all that much, but you learning to like it. So we've gotten to your background. I want the people to know, because I think you're great at networking. Like that's specifically what I want to come here and pick your brain on. Okay. So let's just say that let's say we're talking to somebody who is like, all right, I am trying to get into tech. I am, let's say they work in, I don't know, legal, or they work in construction, or they work in aero engineering or anything like that, right? But they want to be in tech. They want to be a software engineer, UI, UX. What would you recommend to them as their first step?
Schedule a one-on-one call. Okay,
you sound like... Okay.
I can't give you advice if I don't know nothing about you, so you can schedule a call.
So then...
For real.
Okay. In terms of getting employed in tech, how important do you think it is to build your network?
100%. I tell my students, look, if you don't get your ass up out the house and go and network, you can't make no money sitting in the house. I mean, you can if you on Twitch, but all y'all ain't twitching. So go outside, get out the house at least 2 to 3 times out the month, or if you can, do it weekly. Get out once a week, go on Eventbrite, go on Meetup, LinkedIn, meetups, or whatever.
And what kind of people should they be meeting?
You need to talk to the heavy hitters, C-suite.
Okay. C-suite,
seniors, managers, anybody. No juniors. Juniors can't help you because they trying to get help themselves.
Even if they, I agree with that. Even if they have no tech experience, like they don't really know nothing, like, okay, so if I'm someone who don't know. You gotta have
a good word. See, you gotta have a good mouthpiece. You gotta know how to talk to people. If you don't have your mini elevator pitch in under 30 seconds, you already lost them.
Okay, let's start over then. Start to finish, high level, not granular. If somebody was looking to get into tech, because I got my little 4-step system that I tell them about, but I want to hear what yours is.
I want to hear yours.
Okay, so what I tell, and it ain't got shit to do with networking. Okay, so, and I got this from Charles actually. So step 1 is you have to learn a technical skill set, right? Like you must have a hard skill, unless you're trying to be like a project manager, agile coach, or some shit like that. To me, that's not really tech. You just working in tech, but you're not a technical person. So you have to have a hard skill. And one thing I heard Charles say, he was like, bro, don't nobody want to network with somebody who ain't got nothing to offer. Like, the most you can do is walk in there and be like, hey, bro, like, I want a job. Doing what? You ain't got no skills, right? So step 1 is get a skill set. Step 2 is you got to get your digital footprint right. Like what they see when they Google you, your LinkedIn, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Step 3, you got to have the right social skills. You got to learn how to interview. You got to learn how to become a people person. Someone that they want to get a beer with after the interview is over with, right? And then step 4, you got to apply for a lot of jobs. You got to do the numbers.
Do the numbers.
That's it. So that's my little 4-step system. However, I will say, as far as I've come, I probably would have went a lot further if I were networking.
Right, okay.
In that, right? Now,
Yeah.
I was meeting with recruiters, I was meeting with, I was doing interviews, and I was keeping in touch with people, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I go to networking events, I'm like, especially now, I'm just like, oh, most of these people in this room are not worth talking to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So then, to take the time to find out who is worth talking, well, that's different. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
now that you said start with C-suite, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But that's my little 4-step. If you were talking to someone, I mean, you also help beginners, right? You have to be.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I help everybody.
So then, what would you say at a high level are these steps that someone should take in order to get into tech if they have no background, no experience, no nothing?
I always tell people first, identify 3 roles that you have an interest in. Identify yourself first, though. Mm-hmm. Are you an introvert or extrovert? Do you like client-facing roles or do you like more behind-the-scene roles? A lot of my clients are introvert, so I recommend them to pick, okay, cool, development, QA testing, UI designer role.
Somewhere you can sit in the dark room.
Somewhere you can sit in the dark room and not be bothered. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're an extrovert and you like to talk and you like to engage with clients and stuff, okay, cool, customer success, tech sales, project management, business analyst.
Who do you think makes more money, the introverts or the extroverts?
Oh, 100% introverts.
Okay.
Make way more.
Okay.
Now, unless you like a product manager, then it's different. But, introverts make way more. So I say identify that first. Once you identify are you an introvert or extrovert, have your 3, skills picked out, then after that, I like for you to identify and do research on those skills you have an interest in. Once you have an interest in those skills, look into a different type of sector and identify your transferable skills. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So I worked in this space. I worked in healthcare. Okay, nice. Go look at healthcare tech companies or med tech companies or biotech companies you can work with based off the roles that you found already that you have interest in. Identify how much you want to make. And then once you have that together, create a roadmap for yourself. Look, this is my goal for the next 6 months. That's what I want to do. These are the events I'm going to. These are the people I want to talk to. Now it's time to get a little stalkery. Mm-hmm. Identify what events coming out, who's gonna be there, what they like, what they went, where they went to school. Find something.
So you investigating?
Oh, I'm an investigator.
Okay.
I'm investigating everything.
Are you the type to like, if your man is cheating, like you finna go investigate and find out everything?
I'll find out in 5 minutes.
Okay, I got you.
But I follow my instinct first. I feel like everybody's proven innocent until guilty. Mm-hmm. I give everybody a fair chance. Mm-hmm. But if you start giving me like little hints and little weird things, okay, now I gotta investigate.
I got you. Yeah. I got you.
You asked a lot of questions about me. I really want to know more about you because you've been interrogating me. Find a lot that I didn't know about. Find me.
Instagram.
But how?
I really don't know. I told you I don't be networking like that. I must have typed in some tech related. Maybe it was after I did the Tech is the New Black. I don't know. Okay. But I'm finding everybody through you. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Hallelujah.
That is true. Okay, so what are you about? Let's start with you. What do you like to do? Who are you?
I am AD, the RPA guy. Okay. I've been in tech now since 2012, so that's 13 years now. I started off in software development, and I learned PHP, Java, C++, all of that good stuff there.
Okay.
And I used to work for AT&T, hated it. I realized that big corporate companies with hundreds of thousands of employees don't work for me. Okay. And then I got involved in RPA and I was just like, okay, relatively speaking, compared to coding, this is like super simple. There's no way. I didn't start making 6 figures until I got into RPA. I didn't make 6 figures until the pandemic. I started making 6 figures during the pandemic.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, this is great. This is simple. I can do this. And then I was like, you know what? This is so simple. I think I can teach other people how to do this. And so then I got friends involved and now they're making $100,000, $250,000. I prefer to work with guys who are not in tech yet. Like they have no tech background. They're green. They don't know what they're doing because they come in and they're not arrogant. They're just like, teach me. I can do that. Right. And so now I run RPA University and I help, mostly husbands. I do help women sometimes, but I help mostly husbands get into tech. I like working with husbands because, like, if you look at the numbers, 90% of the people, 9% of people today in America who live below the poverty line are married. So really, if you don't want to be poor, man or woman, the easiest thing you can do is get married. And I'm not saying they should get married. That's not what I'm saying. But I like working with married men. They make 6 figures. So I help winners who've won in other industries win in tech by getting into RPA because it is the simplest tech skill that I ever laid my eyes on.
So what if somebody's single and say, hey, I want to learn RPA?
If they got money.
Okay. So you do have a secondary primary audience.
Yes, my primary audience
Primary is married men.
is married men because they have the money.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about women?
I work with women too, but I purposely ignore them, and then they have to like email me or message me and say, "Hey, do you work with women?" And
wow!
And you know what's actually funny?
What?
I'll say this here. I've never said it before. When I'm in the DMs, I have my setter who kind of helps my DMs, and whenever a woman who messages me, I always tell them, "Hey, check her profile picture. If she does not have, check her profile and her profile picture. If she does not have men, like a man, that's clear she's not a husband. Okay, assume she's single. When she's first off, we don't reach out to her. Let her reach out to us. When she reaches out to us, you know, we have our list of questions we ask, and then we say, how does your man feel about you wanting to get in the tech?
Yeah.
And if they're single, which 90% of the time they are, they say, I don't see how that's relevant. I don't see how. Oh, okay, you got a bad attitude. I don't want to work with you.
Okay, that's understandable.
That's just what it is. But I've got I don't know if I've ever closed a single woman. I've got women who are in my program, but they're either married or they're in like seriously committed long-term relationships.
That's
type
pretty
of thing.
Cool.
But I work with the willing. I just refuse to work with people who I don't like.
Okay, now let me ask you this. How did you actually figure out about RPA? Because you're the only person I know in this world right now that does RPA.
I know. It was luck that someone found me. So I was working for a banking software company, and they had their own little proprietary code, right? And it was very difficult because you can't just get on Google and learn how to use it because it don't exist nowhere else, right? Got laid off from there. And I got fired. I ain't gonna lie. I got fired from there, and their reviews on Google were terrible. They were so bad that like in the interview, I asked about them, and they had a canned answer ready, right? And so I got fired from there, and then I heard that like my manager then quit like the day after, and they had like an HR thing going on, I guess, where they were charging the bigger people, heavy set people, higher interest, higher rates on the insurance, or something like that. That's what I heard.
I didn't know it was a thing.
It was terrible. Anyway, so I left there. And I'm sleeping. So then I hit cause I'm separated from my wife at that time, or my then baby mother, and I'm just like, ooh, I ain't got nowhere to go. I want my family back, right? So now,
that's crazy. You're out there.
Yeah, I'm on the couch, and now she's like, I'm just so excited to have my family back, and so I'm applying for jobs, and then a guy hit me. And his name is Thomas Cabana, changed my life. He was just like, hey man, I see your resume, and you know, there's this RPA thing, and I don't know, it's like, you can tell he didn't know what the hell it was, and I didn't know what the hell it was either. I need a job. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And then he said something about robots, and then he brings me in the interview. He asked me like 3 or 4 very, very, very easy coding questions. I'm like, it's so easy. I'm like, what's the catch here? What's going on?
Yeah, like what's the thing?
Then I go to do the interview. That's the other thing. I'm very good at interviewing. I'm very good when it comes to connecting with people. I just don't want to connect with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so then I go do the interview, and I'm working. I do an interview at Automation Anywhere, which they're like the big 3, big 4 in RPA. Okay. Right now, right? It's Microsoft, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and whoever the fourth place person is. Okay. So they're like big, right? Mm-hmm. So I do the interview, and the manager is like, yeah, man, we just need someone who we can put in front of clients who's not going to put their foot in their mouth and make us look bad. I was like, shit, I can talk to people. Yeah. I can do that. And so this is the first job that I ever got where it was like, bro, I'm being praised. I'm getting bonuses. They're like this. They literally put on my review, like, this guy's a rock star. I would have done it forever, and then the pandemic came. Okay. Right. Then I got laid off, and I was just like, I'm not switching. I'm doing this and this only. I have a cousin who I followed. He went to UNT, so I went to UNT. He majored in computer science, so I majored in computer science. And he got to the point where he basically had people reaching out to him on LinkedIn, right? And he would turn down for projects to do Android development, right? And I was like, and he would say, I would turn projects down that I don't think are fun, that I don't want to work on. And I'm sitting here almost broke, and I'm just like, imagine having so much money that you can just turn things down because you don't think they're fun, right? Exactly. How do I get there? And he told me, he was like, bro, you got to build a website, put some articles on it. So that's just what I did. And so then when people go and they see my website, I look official, then I get on an interview, they're like, tell us about yourself. And I'm charismatic, I'm confident. I'm just like, I literally go on interviews, I'm like, look, I'm probably the best candidate you're going to come across. Right. I know almost everybody in the industry, and you're interviewing me the same way I'm interviewing you, and we're just determining whether we're a fit for one another. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's an amazing story. That's nice. That makes sense. It makes sense on why you act the way you act now.
I'm him.
Okay, and I'm her.
Okay, well, where can they find her at? How can they reach her?
You can find me on Instagram at technically JAI, and Twitter, same, technically JAI. and also TikTok, technically JAI.
I love it. And we're going to put her links in the description below. As you know, I am AD, the RPA guy, your host for today's episode. And that's it, guys. Okay. This is AD, the RPA guy. I'm wrapping up. This is the end of the episode. Till next time. Peace.
Yeah.
That's what you want me to do? Oh, you stupid. You stupid. You're going to keep that shit? Let's keep it.